You don't get sent off that. You don't get a yellow card for that.
Yes, he should have booked João Pedro, but because he missed that one doesn't mean he should miss this one.
It was all down to Veltman misbehaving. That's the nicest word I can use. The referee's got no common sense.
So what's the rule book for then?
Because you've never played the game.
There was a moment that has caused a lot of conversation and a fair amount of controversy in the Arsenal-Brighton game at the weekend, because in that match, Arsenal went down to 10 men after Declan Rice received a second yellow card for knocking the ball away after it was rolled against him, with Joe Veltman then kicking through the Arsenal midfielder as he went to take the free kick. The law was applied after Rice was deemed for delaying the restart. Mikel Arteta said, nah, not for me.
I was amazed because of the area on the pitch and the previous action, which is a free kick, especially it's not a free kick, but anyway. The ball hits the heel of Declan, he turns around, he touches the ball. By law, he can do it. He didn't do it in the first half. He decides to do that, but he forgot the second action, which is a red card for Berman. And then we play 10 against 10. If he wants to make that call, it's up to him.
Graeme, I think you would argue here that there should be a place for common sense to be applied when it comes to the letter of the law. Mike Dean, I noticed at the weekend, said, kick the ball away, delay any kind of restart, you'll be cautioned. Former referee Mike Dean. You will be cautioned. He was, and that meant it was off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Arteta said he was amazed. I was amazed. But should he be?
Yeah. I mean, you say common sense. Veltman, in the initial challenge, throws himself to the ground like he's been badly challenged. And then he's rolled the ball towards... And this is the bit I don't get. He rolls the ball towards Declan Rice. What was he trying to achieve at that moment in time? I'm going to kick through him. I'm going to try and take a quick free kick and get him another yellow card for standing in the way of the ball. It was all down to Veltman misbehaving. That's the nicest word I can use. You don't get sent off that. You don't get a yellow card for that. He's flicked it with the outside of his foot. What about the incident on the halfway line? Is it João Pedro?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's kicking the ball away.
But
of course.
These were the two players that were involved when Declan Rice got a yellow card, wasn't it? So when Declan Rice went through him in the first half, this was the same player that he went through to get his yellow card, wasn't it?
Correct.
You've got to ask yourself a question. Irrespective of whether you agree with it, why are we here? I tell you why we're here in this situation. Because players have cheated and simulated and delayed. So you've now got this ridiculous reaction where the officials are stepping in with rules that are ultimately not allowing referees. Yes, he should have booked João Pedro. But because he missed that one doesn't mean he should miss this one. What you're asking for is consistency. We saw it in another game, but two referees refereeing different matches have the ability to make different mistakes. The problem for us is that why are these rules here? Is it because there's a deep state mentality that wants to control football, or is it because it's a reaction to what players and managers have done for years on the pitch that is now bringing them into... I made an argument last year. We've got to play for an extra 20 minutes. We're going to be... Why have you got to play for an extra 20 minutes? Because you spend your entire time rolling around, feigning injury and simulating situations. So now you've got to play for 20 minutes and you've got the audacity to complain about it. And
but
this
we
is
had
why
this
these rules are here.
conversation last week.
Did we?
I think I said last week, go out in the street, ask 10 football supporters, what are the two things they hate most about football? Simulation and VAR. The referees have got a part to play. The referees got no common sense. Yeah, the rule says, well, what about the rule in the first half when the guys kicked it 50 yards down the line?
So the
There's
referees
no
missed
consistency.
it. Yeah, and I agree with you.
How can you miss it? No, he's not missed it.
Well, he's missed
He's
it.
chose to ignore it.
Well, he's missed it.
But he's chose to ignore it. He's seen it. He's not missed it.
So that must mean he has a bias towards the situation surrounding Declan Rice.
It's just not very good.
And that may well be right.
Does he not see? I can see what Veltman was up to.
Well, you
How
would be
can the
able to see
referee
it,
not see that? He
because you
should
can
have
see
sent him
statistics as
off.
well.
Should have sent him off.
So you think that Veltman did it on purpose?
Yeah, and then
Went
he's kicked through him. Yeah, he's rolled the ball towards him. I'm going to roll it there and I'm going to take a quick free kick. I'll kick it against Declan Rice and I'll get Declan Rice sent off. He was the one. He's the one to blame for Declan Rice getting.
So in that moment, he had the presence of mind and the lucidity of thinking to think, I know what I'll do. I'll roll the ball to where the situation manifests itself, and I'll kick it towards him.
He rolled it,
and then I'll boot through him. I'm not denying that may well be the case, and none of us
He's
know
rolled
because
it
only he will
forward.
know.
He's rolled it forward, and if it had stopped, say Declan Rice doesn't kick it, he was going to try and take a quick one. He would have kicked it against Declan Rice to get Declan Rice sent off. That's what he was aiming to do.
But Graeme, is Simon not spot on when he says it's the behaviour of the players previously that has meant the introduction of this rule
simulation
being applied to the letter of the law?
Have you looked at what simulation means in the dictionary? Deceit.
Yeah.
The cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing a show on I heard it again at the weekend, with Mika Richards, and he said that he was talking about Jack Grealish. Oh, he's bought a foul there, and I said, Mika, what does that mean, buying a foul? And I pushed him. Yeah, it's called cheating.
But look at refereeing, Jim. Look at
buying a foul.
Palace. Go back to the game I was watching yesterday. Palace are on attack. A Chelsea player gets a kick on the ankle. Palace are in there around their 18-yard. They stop the game for a guy that's got a kick on the ankle because once upon a time somebody said that if you get a head injury, you go down, the game's got to be stopped. Now the players have got together and decided, right, that every time somebody goes down, there should be an immediate stopping of the game. And this is the battles that referees have got. I'm not defending the inconsistency. I'm not defending the incompetence. I'm looking at it through the prism of going, how did we get here? This is the disease. What was the symptom? The symptom was players endlessly trying to overcome rules, trying to cheat their way through circles, and now they've got the ridiculous end of the wedge, which is a referee sending off Declan Rice
to the letter of the law.
To the letter of the law. The law was created because the game brought it there. So pat yourselves on the back. You got VAR because managers like you wouldn't stop complaining. So pat yourselves on the back. This is what you got.
So that was in the second half. He got sent off, early second half. Mm-hmm. So it was only in the second half he chose to go by the letter of the law, because in the first half he didn't. Because when João,
but that's either incompetence or he's missed it.
It's incompetence.
Okay, incompetence. If we make the incompetence argument,
and then he doesn't know the game to see what Veltman was doing.
So did somebody in his ear whisper to him suddenly, get some competence in this one?
Well, they shouldn't be anywhere near a Premier League game when what's at stake.
Do you agree with the law, Graham? A yellow card for delaying the restart?
Yes, I suppose I do, but that there were circumstances. Veltman was trying to get him sent off at that time by rolling the ball forward. If that ball had come to a standstill just short of Declan Rice, he would have kicked it against Declan Rice.
So if somebody makes a mistake, I just want to qualify this. If somebody makes a mistake, they're incompetent. So if you pick a bad team or you make a bad substitution, are you incompetent as a manager? What's the parallel? It's not difficult. The link's not difficult for you to join up.
It's very difficult.
No, it's not. Well,
who's the judge of a bad substitution?
Let me explain. Well, ineffectivity.
Say that word again.
Ineffectivity.
That wasn't what you said first time.
No, I did. If that's the best you can do to disarm an argument with my pronunciation, because you can't argue it, Graham. If you make a decision to put a team out and you're getting beat 3 or 4-0 at half time because you tactically got it wrong, are you incompetent?
That's.
All right, you're not.
No, that's subjective.
Okay, we'll leave
that's
it.
Subjective because.
No, but the referee's incompetent.
Because there are rules laid down.
Guys.
The game of football is so fluid; it's impossible to use that as a comparison. You've got a rule book. There's a rule book,
and he followed it.
That's right, and that's wrong. A game of football is not like that. A game of football.
So what's the rule book for then?
Because you've never played the game.
There you go.
I waited until
12:30. 12:30.
It's not like that. There's no rule book about a game of football. It's not black and white.
Were you accused of incompetence when you brought on George Weah's cousin to play in some
I didn't
match?
even say that. I didn't even go there with that one. It was too easy.
Was your competence not questioned then? You had to take it to the chin.
Why not?
No players.